So around 2 weeks ago, I made a video about my childhood game being remade inside Roblox. And if you don't know what game I'm talking about, it is Super Block 64. And this game is phenomenal. So good that I decided it would be a great idea to 100% the entire game in one sitting. So before I start talking about that, I would like just to say, please subscribe. These things take forever to make. So much work was put into this video. And only 15% of you guys are actually subscribed. I'm trying to hit 1 million, so please, please, please subscribe. Now, before we actually take on 100%, we need to know what 100% means. And to get 100% in Super Blocks or 64, all you need to get is the 50 stars. I know people are gonna be like, Corny, they're calling player points. I don't care, I'm calling them stars. And there are 5 worlds and each of them contain 10 stars each. And within these worlds, you have 2 in the hub and 8 in the regular world. There's no exception to the rule, that's just how it is. So let's start in the first world on the first hub. So our first hub that we're gonna get requires us to go to the very top of the World 1 hub. It's really easy, all you have to do is climb on a few clouds, ride a fan up, and then boom, you get the first star. And then to get the other star in the World 1 hub, you need to find 8 star shards. Once again, they're really easy to find. I was in and out of this world within literally 2 minutes, so no biggie. But now that we have 2 stars in the hub, we need to go to Breezy Plains and get the rest of the 8. Now, I should say every single world, every single map is going to contain 8 star shards that you're going to need to find. I didn't really go to my way to do this. I kind of just did it in random order. So if you're looking for the locations, I'd recommend just searching up a different YouTube video. Now, our first star that we actually got is called Fearless Jumper, and you kind of have to go to like the back right side of the map, climb on a little cable, jump on a little spring, and then hop on a little cloud. Directly across from that, however, is a little teleport beam that you can go to, and it'll actually shoot you in the sky. And up here, once you reach the end of the parkour, you'll find yourself another star. The next star is actually kind of cool because you actually have to go underwater for this one and swim with the fishes. It's also important to know that these fishes will kill you. Do not touch them. The next star requires us to do a little gruesome battle against robot fiends. There's 3 of them. All you have to do is stomp on them. Once you stomp on all 3, you'll get the star. This next one's probably the most challenging out of them all in this world so far, and that is taking the above ground path. All you gotta do is this little parkour bit, and then you have to do a crazy long jump where you need to actually do a full jump and then dive at the end. Once you do that, you have your star. Then if you hop down, you'll notice right next to it, there are a bunch of chests you need to open. You have to open the chest in a certain order, but don't worry, it tells you which order you need to do it in. After you do that, you get another star. Under the chest, however, there is a little secret passage. And when you go inside the secret passage, you'll be inside of a cave. You have to go through all the way down to the end of the cave, and you'll find another star. At this point, if you're following along with the video, you should be at 9 stars. Then for the 10th star, you just gotta find all 8 shards, and once you do that, you'll have 10. Which, hey, congrats, you are officially 1/5 of the way done. You'll know you're done with this portion because you'll get a little achievement that says 100% in World 1. Our next stop is going to be the World 2 hub. In my opinion, it's even easier than the World 1 hub. All you do is find the 8 shards, and then after you find the 8 shards, take a little nap on the topmost point of the map. It's actually impossible to miss. Now that we've gotten the World 2 hub stars, it's time to finally go through the world. And now that we're in Sunshine Beach, we have 8 more stars to get. You'll notice on the right of your spawn, you'll see a little bed. Go ahead and take another nap in it, and you'll get another star. Basically a freebie. Our next place we're gonna head to is actually a little secret area behind the waterfall. An easy way to find it is if you hop in the water, you can actually see through all of the water, and you'll see a random red door within like this little crevice of the mountain. Once you're in there, you're gonna be doing a 2D platformer with the box. Grab the box and bring it all the way to the edge of the map where there's gonna be a red button. Simply throw the box at the button, and the button will press, and then the player point will spawn. Now, I will say I forgot to grab it on my way out, so I'll be grabbing it, I think, as my last one. For the very next star, you're gonna climb on the very topmost point of this little mountain. Up there, you'll find a guy who also climbed the mountain somehow, and a star. Our next star requires us to grab another box and then press another button with it. Once you do that, you'll have yourself another star. If you look around the map and look up, you'll notice that there is a star inside one of the clouds. Just like in World 1, simply climb all the way up to it and grab the star. Honestly, one of the easier ones. Then, if you notice directly behind that cloud, you'll actually see another star on top of a mountain. This one also requires a bit of parkour and a little balloon jump at the end to get to it, but once again, I had no problem with it. Easy star. If you go to the back part of the map, you're gonna notice that there's also another portal and a little shard. Once you're in the portal, go ahead and do some fish parkour. I would probably say this is probably the most challenging portion of this world. And when you're at the very top, simply pound on this blue button. Then you'll notice at the beginning, there is a star. Go ahead and jump down and grab it. All that's left in this world is to collect the 8 shards, which I think I did first. And then after that, I needed to go back can grab the other star in that 2D platformer world, which at this point you should have 20 stars, and you should also get the second achievement for World 2 100%, which means we are 40% done, and it only gets harder from here. Time to start World 3 Hub. One of the first things you're going to notice when you're inside World 3 is the fact that the water is purple. Let me make this very clear. It is not water. Do not go in it unless you want to use it for some insane jump boost, which I think I'll explain a little bit later. And in order to get the first star for the World 1 Hub, you have to do some parkour, which is probably the hardest we've done so far. And while you're up there where the star is, please do not forget about the star shard, because I did, and I unfortunately had to do the entire parkour twice. And if for whatever other reason you can't figure out how to get up to this star in particular, a good thing to note is that the umbrellas are actually little springs that you can jump on. After collecting that star, all you gotta do is simply collect the 8 shards, and then after the 8 shards, congratulations, you are now done with World 3 Hub. So our first star in this world, we're actually gonna be using the teleporter once again, and do you remember the chests from before? Well, guess what? There are 6 of them this time, and they are in a little bit of a confusing order. I don't know why. I messed this up like 3 different times. I really wasn't paying that much attention, to be honest with you, but I eventually got them. Now, for this next star, at the very back of the map, you're gonna see this big tower. Behind the tower, not on top of it, behind it, there is gonna be a little hidden star. Go ahead and grab it. It's really easy to get. For our next star, however, you're gonna actually want to climb the tower this time, and you'll notice that there's a bed and a little star that you can get. I initially forgot to do this in my first run, so I went ahead and I went across and I went into the nice little secret area. This place is called Tricky Trials, and it's actually featuring some of the hardest parkour in the entire game. This took me a few tries to get, but once I got it, it wasn't that bad. And in the middle of the map, you're gonna see this giant, really wide mountain. Go ahead and hop on top of the mountain, and you'll notice behind it that there's actually a little room with a shard. Grab the shard and then go under on the left, and you're gonna see that there's also another small little room with a chest in it, and that's also holding a secret star. For our next star, go back to that same area, but instead of going off the mountain this time, go ahead and do the parkour up into the clouds. You're gonna see another star up there. And then for my next star, I actually went back and got the one that I missed, where you have to take a nap. This one is the freebie. For our next one, there's going to be a box you have to pick up again, and go near the middle-ish of the map, and you'll see another button. This one took me a little bit to find because I'm literally blind, but let it just be known it's kind of in the middle-ish area of the map. It's pretty hard to miss. And for our last star in World 3, go ahead and find all the shards. I had a hard time finding the last shard, but it's actually like in the back right-ish area of the map, hiding behind a little rock. And then after that, you should be getting your achievement for 100% in World 3, which means that we are 60% done. And the difficulty scale gets a little bit harder, just so FYI. Out of the time of recording this, it took me literally an hour to get these first 3 worlds, but it also took me another hour to get the last 2 worlds. So things get a little bit more difficult. Now for World 4, it's called Freezy Fields, and it is very, very cold. So cold, in fact, whenever you hop in the water, there is now a meter that says cold, and if it fills up, you take damage. There's also ice on the floor. Good luck trying not to slip off. Now for our first star in the hub, it is at the very, very, very top of the map, and you have to take some fans to get to it. Now a quick warning, this jump is really hard. Don't do what I did and try doing the normal double jump. It's not gonna work. You need to charge up your jump by holding shift and then jumping and then shooting yourself to the fan, and then you double jump, and then you dive into the fan, and then only then you double jump again, and then you're on the star. This one, painful. I hated this one so much. In fact, this one was so hard, I actually managed to get the 8 shards first. But once you get the shards and that top star, you're gonna be on the official World 4 map. Now, for the first star on this map, I went ahead and I went for the big platform in the back right corner. And it took me a little bit to get because the jumps were really small, and it was also on ice. And it doesn't help that the cloud is actually transparent, and you'll just fall right through it. After I got that one, I took a little teleporter up, and I had to do the grand old slide. I don't know why this one in particular took me so long to get, but I had at least had to done like 20 attempts of this just to get this star. This was painful, it was annoying, and honestly, I do not wish for this again. A little pro tip, however, do not go for the shortcuts. You're just gonna die. There is some kind of skybox that is just gonna kill you every time you cross it. So please, please, please just go on the ramp. After you grab that star, however, if you jump down, you're gonna notice that there's a little door. Go ahead and go through that door, and you're gonna be in the most dense snowfall ever. And I actually ended up getting lost somehow, but this one shouldn't be too bad. All you have to do is go to the end, and at the end, there's also some parkour, and after the parkour, boom, you have a star. For this next one, by the spawn area, it's actually really easy to get. You're gonna notice a little shard in a little crevice in between two ice. Grab that shard, and then under that shard, there's also a secret star there. Go ahead and grab that star, and then boom, you have another one. However, this next one is pretty tricky because this one you have to make the longest jump inside the game. It's important to know that before you can even get to this jump, you have to do some pretty insane jumps where you have to charge up your jump, dash forward, do the double jump, and then dive onto the cloud. And then after that, you're gonna notice a swing. You're gonna do the same exact thing as before. Go ahead and charge up your jump, double jump, dive into the swing, jump off, double jump again, and then just dive on in, and you'll have the player point. For our next star, you're gonna wanna go back to the area that we first got our first star in this world, which is like the little waterfall cloud thing. Right next to it, there's a little mountain, and behind that mountain, there's a little secret area, and you'll notice that there is a star in there. For my 39th star, I went ahead and put the shards together, and then for the 40th star, you have to do some really crazy fan parkour. If you look up in the air, you'll see it, do the parkour, and then you'll have another star, which means that you will have 40 stars, which means you're 80% done. And if we could also get a mental health reaction image check on my editor, please leave it right now. Look how happy he is. Which brings us to our final world, World 5. Now, if you thought the other ones were difficult, it's all downhill from here. What's so difficult about this one in particular is the fact that 1, the floor is lava, and 2, the jumps you make are really, really advanced. A lot of these jumps involve spinning gears and also diving balloon jumps. It's pretty ridiculous, and I had the most trouble on this map. So with the first star, all you have to do is go to the very tippy top of the map, in which you're also going to notice on the other side of the tippy top, there's also another tippy top with a shard on it. Make your decision. It doesn't really matter which one you do first, because either way, you're going to be climbing this up twice. Then after that, go ahead and collect the rest of the 8 shards, and you'll have 42, which means we can move on to our final world. For our first star, we're going to go ahead and do this massive leap of faith. Now, what I mean by that is if you look in the corner of the map, you're going to see a door and a star. Go ahead and climb up to the closest point to the door, do a little dive jump. You're probably gonna fall in the lava. No big deal. Use that as a boost to get onto the platform. Once you do that, grab the star and go through the door. Our next star is gonna be in the top portion of the map, where you have to bring a box from one end of the top end to the other end of the top end. Doesn't sound that bad. Honestly, I had a pretty miserable time doing it, but that was because I'm actually just stupid. But just like the other ones, go ahead and throw the box to the button, and then boom, a star will appear. For our next star, go back to the portion where you actually took that leap of faith, and then you're gonna notice there's a platform on the right of it. Go ahead and use the lava as a boost to just get onto it, because you're probably gonna miss the balloon like I did, and then go hop in the portal. In this portal, there's gonna be the hardest parkour section in the entire game. I kid you not, this parkour section literally has you doing every single trick in the book. But after a little bit of pain and suffering, I finally got the star. Once you're back out of that little section, you're gonna be teleported on the gear in front of the portal. Now, you're gonna notice that there is a star to the left of you, and the only way you can get to it is by going on the portal platform and then jumping to the other platforms. Now, in order to do this, you need to do it on the very corner of the platform so you don't actually get teleported back in. For the next star, look near the big wall with all the parkour on it, and you're gonna see a star on a cog. Go ahead and hop to the cloud right next to it, and then jump into the lava and get shot up all the way and grab the star. That's how I did it. I guarantee that's not how you're supposed to do it, but you know, I'm a little cheeser. And then right next to that star, there's the wall of parkour. Go ahead and complete the wall of parkour, and you'll get yourself another star. Go ahead and jump down from the wall and grab that shard right next to that door. Once you grab the shard, go ahead and walk into the door, and I said that last one was the hardest parkour section. Looking back at that footage, this is the hardest parkour section of them all. This is the grand finale. Now, this one was actually painful, and it took me a good chunk of time to get through, but eventually I beat it, and we got got our final normal star, which leaves us at 49. And all I need to do now was get the last shard. And after I got the last shard, I had gotten all 50, which means that we have made it to the end. If you guys are wondering how long this took me, it took me around 2 hours to do the entire thing. And I honestly had the time of my life playing this, so I cannot recommend this game more. Please, 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 if you watch this entire video, go ahead, do the entire 50 and let me know how fast you do it. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this entire video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.